Hi, it's Professor Nelson with the Jewelry Design Department at FIT. We're doing another video in the series of videos for modeling in Rhino for jewelry. This is for JD237. It's our review ring from fall 2017, and it's the fourth video in our series for this project. Okay, class, I have the basic body of my ring with finished surfacing. Now I've got to look at the strategy again. How am I going to do the rest of this ring? Well, I see this as actually being three pieces I'm going to need. Well, four, technically. One piece will be the outer shank, coming up around to here, and then being cut off. The second piece is actually left and right here, the second and the third, made out of the top part of the shank. And the fourth and least obvious part is the recessed areas. Okay? So I'm going to need to use this blank here 4 times to create what I want. I'm going to take our original maquette, I'm going to put it into storage. I'm going to move this into the storage layer. Not the storage layer, I'm sorry, into 3D one. The same layer where the maquette was, so that I know that I have it there handy. Tidying up my file a little bit. I'm going to need to do a lot of drawing. This cage edit box can be deleted. And this curved network I used to make the shank, I never did use that box, so I'll delete it. The rest of these I will group together, Control G and Control D, change layers, put on storage. Curves. I'm going to copy and paste. I'm going to take the copy and put it on a different layer. I think that this curves one layer is good. Turn that off. And now I have it here, and I have it here. My top layer here has the curves that I used to design my ring initially. I'm going to cut the hole separately. The hole is going to be a later stage. I'm going to Control Shift G to ungroup these. I'm going to grab what I need, what I believe I need to draw what I want to draw here. I'm going to copy and paste it and put them on a different layer. You'll see me doing that a lot. I'll copy and paste what I want, leaving the original safe and unscathed. Trim that outside away. Fillet curve to tidy this up. And actually I don't really need that. Simplify these two into just making them a straight line. Delete the ones that were there and join this into one closed curve, bringing in my ring. Okay, I want to project these up onto this surface. If I project it onto the model, we're doing this in the maquette, if I hit project right now and I project this, I'm going to get a mess. It's going to project through the whole ring. That's very untidy. So I'm going to do what I've been doing. I'm going to extract, right click, copy yes, the top. Project these onto the top. Now, the only one that's going to really matter is this straight line. Explode these. Control click to take that one out. Delete. I would like that to be an economy. So that will give me that line for the top. To give me this left and right. But it's not going to cut properly. To cut properly, I need to do an extrusion normal to surface. I'm going to keep that curve selected. Surface, not straight, pop out. Normal to surface. Select the surface the curve is sitting on, the base surface. And I'm going to pull down. I want to pull down deep enough that it will cut all the way through to the inside of the finger bore. And enter. I'm going to mirror it over. Select them both and use them to trim out the center of the poly surface. I can either trim these with these surfaces, this piece, or I can simply delete them and hit cap. Since those are flat holes, they will cap nicely. There's the first piece of my ring. Bring back the master. Copy, paste. I'll make this one purple. Turn off the master layer. And I need to bring up the curves that I want. Don't need these anymore, but just in case I can, well, no point. I'm not going to group and put those on storage. I have enough of those. The next piece I need is actually this right here, and these two. Copy, paste, Control D. Put them on that red layer. And I will project those up. And use the same method. I'm going to extrude normal to surface. And the length I had last time should work fine, so I'll just hit enter to accept. Do the same thing here. And mirror them over. Actually, it's probably fun for you to watch me do it again, so I won't mirror. Curve on the surface. Extrude normal to surface. Select base surface. Pull down how far you want, or if you like the distance you had last time, just hit enter and it'll accept the same distance that you did last time. And same thing here. So we have that. Use this to trim away the outside. Use this to trim away that half. Actually, so I won't even need these. Use what's left here to trim off the remainder and join. The happy flash tells me that it's a solid. Grab these, group them, put them in storage. The flat ones, not necessary to store. Mirror this over. And now we have these. Bring back my master. Copy. Paste. And put it on a layer. for this one is going to be to get that recessed area. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do a non-uniform scale. I want to lock our pale blue and use this scaled version. You know, the white one would be the only one we can click. Otherwise I'll be choosing which one I'm selecting all the time. It'll drive me crazy. So, transform, non-uniform scale. Origin 0. I am going to scale it side to side, even though that's not really important to us. But I am going to scale it a little bit, just so that it won't interfere. You won't have, we're going to be doing a Boolean, and if it's in the exact same spot, it's called coincidental surfacing, and Rhino hates it. So, but this is much more important, because this I'm going to look at my reference and see how far in I think it needs to step. I'm going to say that far in, and same thing pulling down. I want it to feel like it's the same. Take a look. See if I like it. Look at my reference. See if that feels about right. I think it could go a little bit more. I don't think I need to change anything going left to right. But back to front needs a little bit more in. Top to bottom, just a touch more down. A little bit more from front to back. Nothing from side to side. In a little bit here, nothing from top to bottom. Let's take a look. Now that might be a little aggressive, but when you take polishing and what have you into consideration, I don't think so. I think that's about what you would want. I don't think you'd want less. So that gives us our pieces, our components for this ring. I would like to fillet these now. We're only going to fillet the edge. And we decided 3/10 of a millimeter. So, fillet edge. No, not that edge. No, I have this locked. That's why. That edge. This edge. I do not want to fillet anything that's coming down in. I only want to fillet what's on the outer edge. Now, the fillet failed. That doesn't concern me for now. Fillet these two. That worked. Fillet these two. That worked. And now fillet the inset. That worked. When Rhino gives you a failed fillet, which is astoundingly often, See if you can use the fillet itself. Rhino's given me surfaces, it just doesn't want to attach them to the model for whatever reason. So let's see what we have here. I have two surfaces. They go too far on one side and not far enough on the other. Okay. Since this is a symmetrical model, I have two choices. I can extend this surface over here, but I'm actually leaning towards doing a cutting plane right down the middle of both of these. 0. Using the cutting plane to trim off the short arm, mirroring them over, joining them together. Okay. And now I'm going to extract some surfaces, but this time copy equals no. I want to take the original surfaces. The first ones I'm going to take are these two. And I made some bad button choices over there on the panel. I meant to bring them over here. Okay. Take this surface, trim off the top. Take this surface, trim off the top. I'm going to extract, copy no, these two. Take the fillet, trim. Take the fillet, trim. Take these two faces, copy now. Going to use this one to trim the ends off of that. This one to trim the ends off of that. Take this surface to trim off that corner and that corner. I'm hand stitching, class. It's important to know how to do this in Rhino. Things don't always work with automatic commands like fillet and boolean. You have to be able to hand stitch when necessary. And now join these together. Perfect. Put it back on the layer I wanted it on in the first place. And there we have our components for our ring. And we are essentially finished with the ring at this point. It doesn't look like it, but we are. All we have to do is cut the hole. So I'm going to turn off the outer. And I threw away that inside line I had for a ring bore. Got to bring it back from storage. It should be right here. Yep, it's right there. Oh, it's actually still on that layer. I just couldn't find it. Okay, it's still here. Fine. Extrude. Going to boolean out the center here. Analyze direction. Remember, when you're boolean differencing, the arrows must point to what you want to keep. We want to keep this white piece, so these arrows are perfect. Solid difference. Yeah, it's really important, class, whenever you're booleaning a solid or poly surface with a single surface, the directions are important. So you need to be aware of what direction that single surface is pointing, or an open poly surface against a solid. Rhino needs to know what's inside and what's outside. So we have this, and now that's going to line up in a much tidier fashion. And the last thing we need to do is to work out the hole. So we still have our little top surface here. We still have our original drawing. I'm going to copy, paste, put these on a different layer so we don't lose the original. I'm going to blend these. And pretty much what Rhino comes up with automatically is going to be fine. That's nice. To join. I can't help but think that with all those seams I'm going to have Boolean problems. So I want to make this a rebuild it. I'll do 72. Double 36 is my normal for an oval like that. So I'll double it, 72, because I'm not going to play with it anymore. I just want it to be rebuilt without any strange seams in it. And the single seam it does have left, I want it to be right in the back, if at all possible. Yeah, quad snap will put it there for me. Nice. Project onto here, and surface, extrude normal to surface. Accept our usual length by hitting enter, and that's good to go. Here's the only problem. I don't want it to cut out this area in here. I want it to cut out everything but that area there. I don't want to cut out that area. So, to make that work, there are a few ways of doing anything in Rhino, but I'm just going to extract an isocurve, toggle to get the direction I want, and I don't care where I put this as long as it's away from this center. I'm going to mirror it front to back. I'm going to select both of these, and I'm going to do a simple loft. I'm going to delete the curves. I'm going to trim off the entire right side. I'm going to join these together, and I'm going to mirror them across. I'm going to check my direction because I'm going to want to cut through this. And to do that, I want these to be pointing out towards what I want to keep. So, analyze direction. Yes. Since that was mirrored, that should be fine. Now it's just the Booleans. Solid union. Now before you start unioning and differencing, copy, paste the things you're going to union or difference, group them together and put them in storage. You always want to keep a document of what you've done. Solid union. These two pieces. Solid difference. I'm going to do these one at a time, because it's a lot of math to ask Rhino to put up with. Pick what you want to cut from. Pick what you want to subtract with. There you go. Bring that into place. And solid union. Don't need that curve anymore. Put it in storage. Solid union. And that's the ring, class. The last stage of this would be hollowing this ring, and I will save that for another video. That's it. Just because it's interesting, there's our master, there's our assembly, and all of this started with our maquette. And that shows our process. Thanks for watching.